morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, and today I have been telling you about the new Japanese set, Incandescent Arcana. I've been showing you stuff like Alolan Vulpix V-Star, which is weird. I showed you that character rares are back, and I showed you Gardevoir and Braixen. I told you that new reverse holo pattern, or the old one I should say, is back. I've shown you some cool cards. The one thing I haven't told you yet is that Radiant Pokémon are back. Although, to be fair, this is the kind of thing we should have been expecting, because this set is very, very obviously following on from Battle Region and Dark Phantasma, and those were sets that brought us the Radiant Pokemon in the first place. They are the only two sets, other than Pokemon Go, which is a mini set and an X set and doesn't really count, which brought us Radiant Pokemon. So you know what? Yeah, in terms of main sets, or, not themed sets, because I suppose it's a mini set in Japan, this is it. It's bringing us Radiant Pokemon, and it's good. We are expecting 3 Radiant Pokemon in the set. The only one we've seen so far is Jirachi, and this one seems good. We've also not had a chat about Reshiram V yet today, so that can be part of this video as well. We'll talk some Reshiram V, but first, there's a new Radiant Pokemon, and I am excited. It's Jirachi. It's got 90 HP, which is nice and low, but do remember that opens up Level Ball. And of course, remember it's one Radiant Pokemon of any description in your deck. And what we've got here, translation from the lovely Antoine Boulet and a little bit from myself, we've got the ability, if this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, search your deck for up to 3 cards and put them into your hand. Now, there are a couple of reasons why this is good. The obvious one straight off the bat is you're searching for 3 cards. Clearly, searching for 3 cards is a good thing. Searching for 3 cards is going to set you up beautifully. But the other thing, which really needs to be borne in mind here, it is when your opponent takes a KO. When does an opponent take a KO? At the very end of their turn. Which means not only are you getting any free cards, which is good, but you're getting any free cards coming into your turn. And that makes a huge difference. Because it's too late for your opponent to do anything. If it's one of those abilities or attacks where you do it and it ends your turn, attacks always do, but ability. Think Sylveon. Think how Sylveon searches out any item card, but you have to end your turn to do so. Things like that, pass it over to your opponent, and your opponent can go, right, let's stop you. Let's make sure you can't do this. So they play something like a Marnie or a Judge to mess with your hand and not give you access to that card. But that's not a possibility here, ladies and gentlemen, because it's coming into your turn, which is awesome. You've got the cards, they're ready to use, no mucking about, and you're off and ready to go. This is just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But hey, your opponent's got to KO it, you've got to leave it in the active, it's got to have some kind of attack, and oh my word, it does. Stellar Doom. 2 energy, flip 2 coins, if both are heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is KO'd. Instant KO on anything. I love this. I am a big fan of emergency attacks. Basically, I've lost the game, let's try something improbable, you never know, it might work. Like, there's like a billion Pokemon out there, like have flip a coin until you get tails, this attack does 10 damage for each head. And you got to flip like 20 heads in a row to win the game, but hey, if it's lose or flip 20 heads in a row, flip a coin, why not? This is 2 heads. All you need here is just double heads, and that is a 1 in 4 chance of just getting an instant KO. But until we hit rotation, Glimwood Tangle's here. And Glimwood Tangle actually makes this potentially something which is genuinely, legitimately worth doing. Because if you don't flip double heads, Glimwood Tangle gives you a second shot. Gives you a second opportunity to flip double heads. Are you gonna flip double heads? Almost certainly not. Let's be honest here. You're probably not gonna flip double heads. I don't even really care. if I'm honest with you. Because you might. There is a chance that you flip double heads. And to be fair, and it's not, right, I'm not doing the maths for you. If you want the maths, go to the lovely Stefan Eriksson. He'll hook you up. But it's not that far off 50-50. It's not 50-50, it's lower, but it's not a million miles away. By the time you've got Glimwood Tangle in play and you're able to flip twice. And you can do this for a twin energy, you can do it for a double turbo energy. Remember, you're not doing any damage, so the downside of turbo energy doesn't even matter here. And best case scenario, you get a KO on like a 2 or 3 prize Pokemon with 90 HP basic. And if you don't, then your opponent either has to gust, and they might have gusting, which would suck. But if your opponent doesn't have gusting, then they kind of have to KO you and let you have any free cards you want coming into your turn. And that's why I like this. I am not saying this is going to work all the time, okay? This is not always going to work. But there are 2 situations where I adore this card. Situation number 1, I am desperate and I need a KO right now and I've got nothing. 2 energy, go. And it could be a twin energy or something like that, but it could be, any energy acceleration that would work. And time number 2, and I love this, is just, I don't mind if I give up a KO. Like, I don't really care if you take a KO or not. It's early games and a 1 KO doesn't really matter. Or I'm ahead in the game, so giving up a KO doesn't really matter. And actually, the benefit I get of searching any free cards from you KOing the Pokemon is going to be a better benefit to me than you taking that single prize card is going to be a benefit to you. I legit adore this card. Now, it is your one-off Radiant Pokemon for the game, for your deck for the tournament, so you've got to know that it's the right one. We've seen plenty of people playing stuff like Radiant Greninja for the draw engine. Can't blame them for that. Playing stuff like Radiant Charizard because it's got that rather ridiculous attack that can potentially do 250 damage for a single energy. Or people might want to play Radiant Hawlucha to do the extra 30 damage to Pokemon VMAX. I get all of this. I'm not saying you have to play this. What I am saying is that for those decks that do not need a particular Radiant Pokemon, that can spare their Radiant Pokemon slot, and are playing either some energy acceleration or something like twin energy, because you really need to be, you've got to be able to get this going in one turn, basically. Otherwise, don't even worry about it. For those decks, I legit love this card. I love the ability, I love the attack, and I think it's brilliant. And there's going to be times it goes wrong, but there's also going to be times it legit wins you the game. I'm giving it 5 Wassies, I don't even care. I'm sure some people are thinking I'm overrating this. I think I'm overrating this, frankly. Don't even care. Love the card. It's brilliant. But I did promise you we'd have a quick chat about Reshiram V as well, and I don't want to be a liar. So what have we got in terms of Reshiram V here? Well, what we've got is 220 HP, which is pretty much as high as we've got. Oh, I should say I legit translated this myself, and I'm very proud of myself. Single fire energy. Attach up to 2 basic energy from your deck to one of your Pokemon in play. It's fine. I like that we're swapping 1 energy for 2. It's kind of like a really weak Arceus. But it can be to any Pokemon, it doesn't have to be to a Pokemon V. Essentially, I attach 1 energy to Reshiram to get 2 energy on another Pokemon. Hopefully, I don't get KO because I've got enough HP, but it is worth pointing out that if I do go down, I've given up 2 prizes to swap 1 energy for 2, and it might not be worth it. But it's not bad for getting rolling in the early game. Or you can attach to yourself, and then for free energy, you deal 200 damage, flip a coin. If Tails, this Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. Which is weird to me, because we've seen so many Pokemon that just plain can't attack next turn, and nobody cares, right? We use them all, it's easy to get around. The fact that this is flip a coin, and if heads you can attack next turn, it actually makes it a whole heap better. It just takes away one potentially annoying thing. Damage-wise, 200 isn't really enough, I'll be honest with. Obviously, if you're hitting for weakness, it's more than enough. But it's not generally enough. But with a choice bout, that is 230, which will KO any Pokemon V pretty much. So, we've got that. It's fine. It's not great, it's fine. I mean, don't forget we've always got Magma Basin to accelerate energy if we need to. Between the first attack and Magma Basin, the attack cost isn't a huge problem here. So essentially what we've got is just I can deal 200 damage for free energy, which is fine. I like the first attack for powering up this or something else. I quite like the second attack for dealing decent damage. The problem with Reshiram V isn't that it's bad, it's nothing special. Whereas I can look at Victini and get legit excited, I look at Reshiram V and I'm like, oh, that's quite cool, it's alright. But there's nothing good about Reshiram. I'm just giving it free wassies, alright, to spoil the suspense. It's fine, but there's nothing about it that makes me particularly excited. But I want to know what you think, mostly about Jirachi, but if you've got any thoughts about Reshiram, I'd love to hear them too. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon cards and all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can get yourself shout-outs, where you can join the Discord, chat some Pokemon, where there's pretty much weekly bonus pods where I answer all of your Pokemon questions. Speaking of shout-outs, I do need to tell you here that Noah Zoldak is a very lovely person. They are one of our supporters on Patreon, have been for a little while now. Noah is awesome. Thank you very much for the continued support. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.